Welcome to the 357's Up to Date. We are week 2 of the Midwest Winter Nationals. First off, before I get started, before I go any farther, I got to thank Ferris Commercial Lawnmowers and ACT Tire and Auto, and as well as Chemstream Fuels, which wonder if they could help you get off that island. What happened to your boat, Tyler?
So we were talking about fishing last week, and lo and behold, that night, I had a boat sunk. Here I am 6 days later. I'm kind of sunburnt and stuck on this island here. But hey, we got some signal out here, and I got the laptop working. So let's go ahead and get this thing going.
So I guess you got to tune into the races this weekend, you and Wilson. And did Wilson have a good time watching the races?
Oh, yeah, he enjoyed them very much so.
Oh, well, if I was on the island, I'd have that thing called Mrs. Wilson, but we're going to keep this PG. Being that it's going to be PG, let's jump right into the junior sprints. We had a different format this week at the Midwest Winter Nationals where they ran, which was, I think, really good. They had the junior sprints. They let them run a heat and feature on Friday and Saturday night, as well as the restrictors. Gave them young kids as much track time as they could. Heat 1 on Friday night. Aiden Robinson up 3 spots in his heat race to finish first, picking up high points. He's going to start on the pole in the feature. J.J. Williams in second, Jackson Live in third, as well as Jaden Hiller rounding out the field. Come into the feature, Aiden Robinson picking up his first feature win. So just like you just did, hats off. You took it off. Hats off to Aiden Robinson for picking up his first feature win. Jackson Live second, Jaden Hiller third, and J.J. Williams rounding out the field. But like I said, not a big car count for the junior sprints, but hats off to them for letting them just give a bunch of laps to these kids and let them get some good track time. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, that's the most important thing is just getting laps, especially on a track like that. It's a little more technical and stuff and hitting your marks and whatnot. Tough break for J.J. Williams in that feature. I watched that feature. I think he had like a half track lead before it looked like he had mechanical problems, motor maybe, which gave the win to Aiden Robinson, which still hell of a run by Aiden in the heat race and all night to keep that car, especially in front of that Jackson Lieb. So hats off to him. I took my hat off. Hats off to him. Robinson, very well-known name in DuQuoin the past 2 weeks. I'm sure you've heard of his father, Daniel, which is
Daniel with a D.
With a D, correct. Very victorious last week. So following in his father's footsteps this week and picking up his first victory this weekend at DuQuoin.
Very good, very good. And, like we said, Daniel, we'll talk about him a little bit later on in the show. But a little bit more junior sprints and more Robinson talk in Saturday night heat race. Eli Holden up 1 spot, Aiden Robinson second, J.J. Williams third, Jackson Lieb fourth. So we added a car to the junior sprints. They ran the feature. Eli Holden picking up, starting on the pole, finishing first. Eli Holden, J.J. Williams in second, Aiden Robinson coming in third, Jackson Live in fourth, and Jaden Hiller in fifth. So just another good night of racing for the kids. And I think they turned more laps than anybody there.
Oh, for sure. Eli Holden once again showing up Saturday night. He started in the outside front row of his heat race, I believe. Got a good jump on Aiden Robinson and took the lead, never looked back, and put him on the pole position for the feature and looked very solid. Clicked off laps, just lap after lap, and had J.J. Williams behind him, but he didn't leave him too much, but he didn't give J.J. too much of an opportunity because he was gone within the first 5 laps. So very good racing by those young kids again. And like I said before, Eli Holden, that's going to be a name you're going to be hearing for many years to come.
Very good. Very good. Let's jump into the restrictors Friday night. Still yet just one heat race on with them. Damon Heck going 1-1, picking up a heat race win, followed by Cameron Sneed up 1 spot to finish second. Jackson Wiggs up 3 spots, not no surprise there, to finish third. Clayton Apples fourth, Billy Lab fifth, and Hunter Pruitt rounding out your field. Jumping into the feature, Jackson just takes off and does what Jackson Wiggs does. Damon Heck comes in second, Billy Live in third. I tell you, it was actually in between the heat and features that I was able to go out there and
check it out.
Yeah. Check out the old
the Wiggs wear. That's nice.
Yeah. So I went out there and was able to talk with Jeff and yeah, I tell you what, man, he was out there, the little guy, rolling out stagger, doing the tape, and really just, it's a whole family thing. Jackson just goes to the track, gets to go up there and watch the races go, and doesn't have to worry about anything in the pit. Look forward to hearing a lot from him this year. Another one that really jumps out, Damon Heck, out of the Heck stable. His dad showed a lot of speed this week. His uncle, I think, did really good in the A-class wing. So a good run by the Heck family racing.
Oh, for sure. I think they found a lot of speed here of late. It's very early in the year. I know they added a couple cars to the stable in the off season, and they're starting to show a lot of speed, especially Damon there in that restrictor feature. One we didn't talk about too much, Hunter Pruitt. I watched him last weekend. He has a lot of speed, and it just seems like he just can't get his car where he wants to get it to. It's a kind of a 1-lane track, and those restrictor features where you have to stick it on the bottom, and Hunter kind of falls out of, he just runs out of track sometimes. But unfortunate for him that he came up and finished in 5th, but a very fast race car driver as well. So looking forward to seeing him this upcoming weekend and seeing what he can do. Hopefully better luck in his favor. Jumping
into Saturday night, Damon Heck coming right back and picking up where he left off with his heat, going first to first. Hunter Pruitt, he goes up 3 spots to finish second. Colin Shane, Billy Live, Cameron Sneed, and Clayton Apple rounding out your field. Billy Live up 3 spots to win the feature. And again, there he is, Damon Heck, just knocking on the doors and really looking, I think, to get a restrictor win this year. And there's your guy, Hunter Pruitt, showing some speed and just come up a little bit short.
Oh, for sure. And like you just said, Damon Heck is, I think it's not going to happen this weekend. It's going to happen in the first couple weekends of racing some local races. He's going to see his first victory. So it's a matter of time before they bring out that checkers to that stable, and everything's looking up for them so far. So pretty excited about that. And like I said, pretty excited about seeing Hunter Pruitt get a couple wins underneath his belt this year too.
Absolutely. Moving on to Outlaw Non-Wing, week 2. Friday night, we had the heat races. They ran their feature on Saturday night. Heat race 1 winner, Tyler McLaren, started first, finished first. That's what you got to do at a track like DuQuoin. If you draw the pole, you got to finish first. Trace Mailer up 3 spots to finish second. Brandon Shaw finished his third from California.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was confused at first because I was watching that feature, and I was like, hey, what's Zach Hubbard doing up there? But that indeed was not Zach Hubbard, and that's Brandon Shaw in his car. Could you fill me in on that?
Yeah, so I watched it. I thought the same thing. I seen right after the race, I actually was walking away, and I was like, man, look at Hubbard. And then I seen Hubbard, and I was like, oh my goodness, sir, you are. Who's in the car? So Brandon Shaw, flying in from California to run this week. He runs a lot of cars out there. Look forward to talking to him this weekend. We'll get maybe a little interview with him. He's come in from California, ran pretty good. The big money's coming up this weekend. They talked him into staying through the week and running Hubbard's cars again next weekend for the 2,500 to win non-wing outlaw cars. So big news from the Hubbards. A lot more to come from that report after talking to Zach. I think a lot of big things coming up in 2021 for that family.
Good deal.
Heat 2, starting on the pole, winning from the pole. Mickey Bullock, Daniel Robinson up 3 spots second, and Matt Veach runs third to third in that heat race win. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I didn't get to see too much of the heat races. Of course, tie down track, it's very impressive just to see anybody move up that much. And Daniel Robinson, George Herder from the back moved up a couple spots. So good to see that. Jimmy Wells looks like he had a little bit of problems at the beginning of that heat race with front row starting spot. Not sure exactly what happened, and I'm sure they could talk about it some, but
I think they did. Actually, I think they did. I think
they did
out. Yeah, I don't know if either one of them is going to be sending out Christmas cards or not. I don't know. They've got it talked out. Hopefully it's figured out.
We'll see this weekend. Maybe if they're both there, maybe they'll work it out and go out to dinner somewhere. Take each other to Texas Roadhouse or something.
Absolutely. We got heat race winner Alex Burglar, the Burglar Burgener. We talked with him tonight. Very excited to talk with him here a little bit later, but up 3 spots to win. Also high points in the heats. Coming out of the heats, going to go straight to the pole. But that's not the big thing in this heat race as well. We had Charlie Heck up 2 spots, finishing third. Alex Bananos. You get that one?
Close enough for me.
Bananos.
I don't want to say anything, but I've never actually heard of him, but close enough. Bananos.
Yep, comes home second. And like I said, up 2 spots to finish third. Charlie Heck. Good run for the Hecks this weekend. Now let's get into the feature. Big race there. You can see it here.
That's it.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Coming in at 5th, Darren Ida. Good run. Trace Mailer in 4th. Daniel Robinson in 3rd.
Never heard of her.
But yeah, well, and I tell you what, he ran second most of the race, but there was no way he could get past Alex the Burglar. So he tried something different, went up top shelf, lost a spot to Cole Kirkman, which, by the way, was up 5 spots. He finishes second, but taking home $1,000 to win Saturday night. Alex Burgener hitting his marks. Big win for Alex. Let's hear about it from you, Tyler.
The most deserving win. Long time coming. I started racing micros with him many years ago, and it's very exciting to see them get this win. And I watched this race, and like you said, he did what he had to do. He knew it was just kind of a tied down track on the bottom, and he guarded his line and did what he had to do. I mean, Kirkman was coming up through that field, looked very fast, tried the high side a few times, and just wasn't there. So the Burglar did what he had to do, and he stole everybody's money that night, went home with $1,000 check, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do next weekend with the big money on the line.
Absolutely. Alex Burgener, I talked to him Friday night, always putting himself in a position to be up front. They don't call him the Burglar for nothing, coming in and stealing the $1,000. Found that out from this interview you guys are about to see right now. It's a good thing we get to catch up with Alex Burgener, the Burglar himself. Outlaw non-wing feature winner. Alex, we talked Friday night. I told you you're one of the guys that you always put yourself in a position to start up front, and you started the feature on the pole as we just talked about, and you hit your marks all night long. But this is just something we talked about Friday night. I knew you was going to pick a win up. Tell us about the night. Let's hear it from you.
It all started out Friday, really the week before at DuCoin. We'd run pretty good in our heat races and started up towards the front in the features, or for at least the wing part. Non-wing, we actually struggled all last weekend, and ended up Friday night last week, we ended up flipping in the non-wing, ended up going, I think, like 20th to 13th or something. And then the wing, I ended up just kind of messing up and falling back. And then Saturday, the non-wing, hell, I don't even remember where we started. Or no, I didn't even run the non-wing. Actually, I scratched. I started so far up in the wing, and I ended up cutting a right rear in the wing feature, running 9th, I think. And going into this weekend, we prepped all week, real hard. Me and Dad did, out in the shop every night, and kind of looked forward to it. But then again, it's DuQuoin. Can't get your hopes up. It just all depends on that heat race and passing points, and who passes more cars and how the track is. And rolled out in my heat, and I saw my heat race line up, and I was like, all right, I can take some of these guys, and I didn't really expect to go 4th to 1st. I kind of was expecting to at least 2nd. I didn't figure, there'd be a lot of mistakes, but just the odds kind of played out in my favor. And I stuck my nose and was running it in hard, and stuck my nose where sometimes it probably shouldn't have belonged, but it worked out in my favor and ended up putting me on the pole for Saturday.
I've watched you for a couple of years. I know that Tyler's raced with you, and you always are one that you get out there. You've got your stuff taken care of in the shop through the week, and what a phenomenal a race team that you have with your dad and your mom. You see your mom. Let's see here, right there.
Holding you
Got
up.
it. It's a mirror thing. It's funny, but you got your mom, and just to see her, the excitement. I was pulling from you, and I tell you what, I stayed down there just to watch you come into victory lane. You hit the donuts, and I tell you what, I get goosebumps talking about it. The whole family thing. You guys, I've seen you guys at the track. I've seen you try so hard, and you've come up short a couple times, but you get out there, and you got some heavy hitters behind you. And not only do you pull up a win, but you pick up how much?
$1,000. Come home $1,000 richer.
Absolutely. Tyler, you race with him, and you've been on the track with him. What do you got for him?
Oh, what do I have for him? He's fun to race with. Alec, the old Burglar, man. He's a very respectable driver. I've always respected Alex. I've always enjoyed being around him at the track, but very young and smart, very smart racer. He always, like you said, I've been behind him plenty of times, watched him, and he never misses his marks. And there's a few times where me and him will get after it, especially at Wayne County quite a bit. And
you like to chop me down towards the tires.
Oh, whoa. Now listen.
Hey, whoa. But hey, but yeah, anything I do, I expect it back. So, but yeah, I'm just super happy to see you get the victory this past weekend. And I was really hoping I could have been there so I could have cracked some beers with your dad, because I'm sure he was was pretty excited about getting that victory. So yeah, I'm super happy that you got that win, and there's many more to come, man. You're a great racer.
Absolutely. We talked, like I said, we talked Friday night. I was super pumped about it. One thing I got to know is, how did you get the nickname? Where did the Alex the Burglar come from?
So it was actually, 3 years ago, I think, roughly. We were traveling racing. We raced a lot, up in Coles County, and we went to Belleville and other tracks that year. And we went up to Coles County and was running, 2nd, 3rd, just right there with them all. And actually, Rob Knoll, I come back to SIR, and he's like, you know what I'm going to call you? I'm going to start calling you the Burglar. He's like, because all you do is you travel and steal their money. And so, after that, it all kind of stuck. And I was like, everybody always asks me how I got it, and they always like it. So that's why
Absolutely. I put it. And tell us a little bit about your number. How'd you come up with your number on your race car? That's something we always like to ask racers.
I actually 96 wasn't my original number. 57 was, and Matt Beach and Danny Robinson and all them, that's their numbers. And I ended up there was a guy that asked me, he had a 2005 Brodericks, and he asked me to drive his car, and it was hand painted, and 96 was the number hand painted on there. So I never changed it. And I run that car for 2 years. And after that, I just all kind of stuck.
Oh, that is awesome. What a good deal. That's fantastic, Alex. Tyler, do you have anything for him?
Yeah, actually, back in, I think it was 2015, whenever you and I started racing together, maybe 16, I'm not sure. We first met. I had a book. It was called the Micro Sprint Chassis Technology book by Steve Smith. I think I let your dad borrow that to get some tips and stuff. And recently I looked it up on eBay, and that some buck goes for $200. I was like, wow, I let them just have a gold mine of a piece of a book. And now look at you. Now you're stealing wins from me. And I'm just like, what am I doing wrong? So that's about all I got. I just like we were talking about, I'm kind of curious what your first chassis was when you first started, and where you started before micros and what got you into the racing.
I mean, I started out like in a Broderick. I mean, we couldn't really afford anything. Actually, my grandpa, he had bought my first car, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have gotten into racing at all. We just, we're low budget. We don't have the money that a lot of these teams do to put $14,000 into a motor. I mean, a lot of my stuff is all sponsorship, and I mean, it's hard work, and trading. Like my 2 mil, I traded the stock motor for it. And actually, Rusty, that's one of your 2 mils.
Yeah. It may still have my name on it, actually, I think.
Yeah, it does. But also, going back on that Stevie Smith book, we did give that back to you, and we ended up buying one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was looking for it the other day, and I can't find mine either. So somebody ran away with $200 of mine.
I'm probably the same boat then. I guess I lost mine.
But really, what got me into racing was my parents. My grandpa, he started racing. My mom was 16, and then my dad, he grew up. His dad would always take him racing, and he got the wrenching forever for Adam and stuff. And my parents actually met at the racetrack, and it just kind of went from there. And I was born, and actually, I'd just been born, and I was there Saturday night at Florida, Illinois, in my mom's arms for feature time. And after that, I always wanted to go back, and I've always had the drive for more.
Wow. Wow. What a story. I mean, that's and you guys keep going with the family. I see your mom too, on Facebook. She's always posting stuff about growing up at the dirt track, and for you guys to continue just to live the dream is just fantastic. And like I said, I'm super happy for your win this weekend. Great run, hit your marks. You did a phenomenal job, and look at that trophy in the background. There you go. And you even got the car already cleaned up. It's ready to go for next weekend. Will we see you there next weekend?
Oh yeah, for sure. We can't not be there after last weekend. So
absolutely. Well, I tell you what, let's talk about your 2021 season. What do you got coming up for 2021? Where can the fans that's watching this video, where can they see the Burglar at?
I mean, I don't really have a set schedule yet. I know we'll be running a lot of the Heart Series. I don't know if we're ready to I don't know if we're going to make the trek up to Iowa yet or not. It's kind of up in the air. I'll be running a lot of Wayne City, SIR here and there, and just traveling. That's kind of how we've grown our program, and found the speed that we need. Week in and week out is just traveling, racing against different people and everything. And I'm talking to one of my sponsors about going to Port City for the T-Town Showdown, and maybe even going to, it's a couple weekends later, the Now 600 series, their 3-day weekend down there at Port. But that's all up in the air right now. I mean, I don't really know. We'll see. I got to save some money back, put some money back so I can get down there first.
Well, I tell you what, you got $1,000 to put into that little trip there, or whatever trip you decide to go. One thing that we do usually when the drivers come on, we've got 5 questions that we want to throw out there to you. And so we'll throw them out to you. You just throw them right back at us, the answers. You ready?
Yep.
Favorite driver?
It'd have to be Brian Clausen.
Blank. Very good. Very good. Favorite track to race at?
I mean, I don't really have a favorite track. You know, I like me just like traveling. I have my least favorite tracks, but
Let's hear it.
I mean, there's a couple of them, but you know, we went up to. I'd like to go back and try it again. I really would. We went up last year to Circus City and run, and dude, we just struggled all weekend. It was a 2-day show heart race, and hell, I didn't even make the show Friday night, and then Saturday night I was the first alternate and somehow got in, and it was just we struggled. But you know, I'd like to go back up there and give them hell one more time and give it another go.
Yeah, that's what I like. Just keep fighting, plugging along. Favorite thing to eat at the track? I see you. I see you're a healthy boy. You're a tall boy, very tall. What is it that you like to eat at the track?
This one goes back to growing up as a kid at Mount Vernon Speedway. I always used to get taco in a bag. You know, that was my thing. I think it was like $4, and I'd always beg my parents for like $8 so I could have one in the beginning and have one at my feature time. And that always held me over.
Oh yeah, the OKNL Raceway.
Yeah,
I grew up there. That was a good time. Favorite number. Now I know we talked about your numbers and we talked about the numbers that you did have and the number you have now. Is that still your favorite number, or do you have one?
96 is for sure, you know, one of my favorites. Another number I'd like would be, you know, 12S. That was my grandpa's number. And whenever he raced a modified back at Mount Vernon, Hopstadt, Chandler.
Hopstadt. Oh, what a good track. What a good track. Favorite color? Purple?
Yep, purple for sure.
Right on. Right on. Well, I'll tell you what, thanks for answering the 5 questions. Another thing, tell us who makes it possible for you guys to get up and down the road and to the racetracks, and who do you have to thank?
I got to thank of course, my mom and dad. They're the ones who supported me from day one, you know, of my racing. I'd also like to give big thanks to my sponsors. You know, a lot of these guys are on the card right now because I don't have my wrap yet. Been waiting on my new hood since last season, but I gotta give big thanks to Next Level Metals, Bailey Chassis, Carnes Trucking, Donaldson's Concrete, Isaac's Roofing, 357 Studios, 357's World of Dirt, Pure Max Racing Oils, Chemstream Race Fuels, Westside Automation. And I mean, if it wasn't for all these people, we wouldn't go around the track real fast. So,
well, I'm telling you what, I'm sure that all your sponsors are super proud about this win. I don't think they're as proud as your mom.
But I also need to.
I'm trying to get me to point over there, but I can't because it's all backwards.
I also need to give big thanks to Tim Engler at Engler Machine and Tool too.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. That is phenomenal. Alex, the Burglar, thank you so much for joining our show tonight and recapping what you did on Saturday night. I guess we can see you this coming Saturday at round 3 of the Midwest Winter Nationals. I think you're going to have a couple other guys there that you're going to have to battle with. One down here in the Hawaiian shirt.
Right over here, Alex.
Yeah, well, you have to get around me, Rusty.
I'm coming this Saturday, and just be ready to watch that number 10 car go around the high side because we're going to make it happen this Saturday.
Hey, just remember, I can make my car a lot wider too.
I know.
There you have.
I'll try not to chop you this time.
Yeah.
No chop sueys. No chop sueys on there. Well, I tell you what, that's going to be fun to watch. I hope to watch it on the track with you guys and not from the infield like I did last time, but I will be there in the Kachow 95. Hopefully watching you guys battle it out. Alex, thank you so much for joining the show. We appreciate everything that you and your family do and bring to the sports here in the Midwest.
Thank you.
Moving into the A-class winged micros, Lane Warner starting on the pole. finishing first. Nathan Rector, second, up 1 spot. Hunter Walker, third, up 2 spots. But then again, finishing fourth, up 3 spots, Shane Heck from the Heck stable.
Yep. Once again, another Heck car looking very impressive this weekend. Tied down track. They did what they had to do and moved forward quite a bit. All weekend long, really, all the cars moved forward. Damon, Shane, the whole group. So once again, there are going to be some cars to be reckoned with here this year, I think in 2021. So I definitely don't want to be in their way because I don't want to, I don't want any part of Big Shane or anything.
No, I tell you what, that is one stable. I tell you what, I'm not getting in their way or feel sorry for the guy that does spin them out.
Yeah, so, I'm not backing that guy up.
I want him on my side. I want him on my back. So good people, though. Good people.
For
easy
sure.
to talk to. They've got T-shirts for sale up there and easy to go up there and talk with the family. Moving on to Heat 2, winner Darren Nida, first to first, which is what you got to do when you start on the pole. Brandon Shaw, second to second. Daniel Robinson up 2 spots and finishes third. And then you jump straight into the feature from those races. Darren Nida picking up the win, starts second, finishes first. We knew it was just going to be a matter of time. He showed a lot of speed last week in both the winged outlaw and the A-class wing. Talented driver coming out there, starting second, finishes first. Daniel Robinson second, Brandon Shaw third. Brandon Shaw up 4 spots. Again, that's Brandon Shaw that's running the Hubbard car out of California. Lane Warner fourth and Chevy Boyer fifth. What are your takeaways on the feature, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, once again, pretty tie down track, but I really thought Daniel was going to have something there for him at the end. But Darren just did a really good job keeping it tied down and hooked up and ran his line the best he could. And Daniel didn't really have anything for him there. So very impressive run for the NIDA stable all weekend long. I think even the non-wing car in that 28, very impressive. I think he went up 12 spots in the outlaw non-ring feature, which we didn't talk about a whole lot, but very good weekend for him. Young kid and very impressive. So look forward to seeing that name a lot this year too, as well. Run up front everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of talent from him, and I think we seen him last weekend, like I said earlier, up front, up there battling, just couldn't get it pulled off, but he gets it pulled off here on week 2 of the Midwest Winter Nationals. All right, I think we've talked about everything. Oh, they had midgets there.
What?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yep.
Well,
so we can jump in. We can jump into that because I tell you what, 22 cars checked in. A lot of good names. Joby Newman, Aiden Purdue, Chris Andrews, Sean Robbins, Daniel Robinson,
Garrett Thomas.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. First off, hats off. You threw your hat off. Thank you,
way ahead of you,
and April Chisholm out of Cheyenne, Wyoming, for allowing me the opportunity to drive one of their cars. Wish I knew the fuel Turner fangers while I'm driving it, or maybe I could have ran a full feature race, but
it's not important.
I got something I had it cutting out. I had to pull in, but like you said the week before, there's not a better seat in the house than in the infield. Well, I'm telling you what, that's true.
I told you. You get your head out of that cage and you got it on a swivel. You got a 360 camera view of the best view.
Well, as fast as they were going, I was getting dizzy watching Aiden Purdue and Daniel Robinson battle it out. But that's later on in the feature. Let's jump into Heat 1. Will Armitage, first to first. Shane Morgan, second up 2. And Donnie Gentry, third up 2 spots. So definitely a good run. I did see, speaking of Donnie Gentry running for EnviroFab, I did see Timez at the track, but not in a car.
Huh.
So he was there. Maybe he was swapping off with Donnie, doing the little switcheroo on the old crew chief.
Oh, the crew chief. I thought you meant like the old Shanks Cochran thing at the
Oh,
Chili
the old
Bowl
Shane
type deal.
Cox.
I thought that was actually T-Mez in the car.
Well, I would not venture to say that did not come across Team Mez's mind to ask Donnie that, but
Yeah.
but
Either way, good run by Donnie though.
very good run by Donnie. Moving on to Heat 2, that's the stacked heat of the night.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my gosh. Joby Miller, Jake Newman, Tyler Nelson, Daniel Robinson. They were all in that heat race.
And you got stacked in that heat race somehow.
Yeah, I know.
Luck of the draw.
Yeah, that was like the draw. 80 is not my favorite number. That was my pill draw that night. So 80 is not my favorite number.
Yeah.
Tyler Nelson starting on the pole, but holding off a strong charge in Joby Miller to win the heat. Joby second to second, Newman third to third, and I believe Daniel finished fourth. Is 4-4. I mean, everybody just kind of followed in line and really couldn't get around anybody on that.
Yep, waiting for a mistake, and it didn't happen from anybody. So,
Nope. Heat 3, we had Aiden Purdue, Sean Robbins. I'm sorry, the birthday boy. Big birthday this weekend. Him coming out and pulling the midget out at the last minute and jumping in it. He finishes third, up 2 spots. Chris Andrews second, up 1, as well as Aiden Purdue starting second, finishing first. But I'm here to tell you right now, it's no different than what we talked about with the Burglar. Aiden Purdue hitting his marks all night long. Started in the feature. You could watch it on film. I could really see it while I watched it there. He kissed the flag stand wall at the same spot every time, setting that car up in the corner. Just looked like he'd been in a midget for a long time. What do you think, Tyler?
oh yeah, very professional already. He's looking very comfortable. And I know the transition from a micro to that, I've never driven a midget before, but I can only imagine he's told me before. It's wild. And I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about as well. But the throttle, especially on a short track like the coin, throttle control, very important. And he did a very good job of riding out there, like you said, kissing that wall and hitting his marks. And he did a great job in that heat race too on the start. I think they pulled back the initial start on that heat race.
Yeah.
He jumped, he got out and did what he had to do, get down to the bottom. And he did it time after time again, I believe on John Heitzman, who started on the pole. But got a great jump and it kept hitting his marks. And second to first, put him starting pole, I believe, in the A main. So great job by Aiden Purdue this weekend. And very, very I went ahead and wore my represented my Aiden Purdue.
Oh,
yeah, you like that?
So you had that.
I'm stuck on the island, but I had it in my suitcase because I was
going to say you packed the Aiden Purdue shirt when you went to the island.
It's good luck. Every time I wear the damn thing, I end up doing actually pretty good. So I just wear it all the time.
Well, hopefully that shirt brings you enough luck to get off that island, so you are back in DuQuoin this coming week for some races. But before we get there, we definitely got to get through the feature. I got to watch from the infield.
What?
Really fun. Yeah, it was that. I thought it was something hitting the fuel. I come back in the pits. They tell me, "Oh no, you didn't have this turned all the way."
Well, you run the car once a year. I don't blame you.
Yeah, but sorry to them for that. Wished I could have ran the whole race, but had a front row seat for a very good run. Tyler Nelson finishes 5th. Sean Robbins, I'm sorry, not Robinson. There's too many Robinsons around here. Sean Robbins finishes 4th. That's the birthday boy.
Speaking of birthdays, real quick, the Burglar's mother's birthday was this past weekend. Amy, shout out to her.
Oh, absolutely.
Amy Burgener. Happy birthday.
Amy Burglar, the Burglar, Burgener, Amy. Happy birthday to you. It's your birthday. Sean Robbins 4th, Chris Andrews 3rd, Daniel Robinson up 10 spots.
Woo, doggies.
and got up there in a hurry. I do need to jump back. So I believe Newman was caught up in a spin out. It was actually Donnie Dentry. It happens. I think it collected like 5 cars. So
Yeah,
there was
got Joe B, Newman, and
Joe
a
B
couple others, I believe. So
was one that was in there. Before we go on to the feature winner, Adam Johnson up 10 spots to finish 7th. That's Sam Johnson's brother, first time in a midget, up 10 spots.
wow.
Pretty impressive run there for Adam Johnson, getting the car figured out through the hot laps and heats, and one practice Friday night to get that run. But let's jump to the feature winning Aiden Purdue. You have it on your chest. He comes home, started first, finishes first. And not only that, he has a run by his car owner right behind him, and many a times through the race, Daniel's jumping in there, showing him the nose. Actually, I can't remember what lap it was, but damn near took him out. Had him turned. Aiden comes out of that and pulls off the win. Exciting moment down there at victory lane for Aiden Purdue, picking up his first midget win. What do you think, Tyler?
That's going to be his first of many. I see him win a lot, even in that 57 car, with Daniel back in that. I've mentioned before, if they go to Macon, if Macon runs this year with them, he always ran really good in the micro in Macon. So I really can't wait to watch him run that midget at Macon. If he comes to Hopstock, Wayne City, all these tracks, really, it don't matter where he's at, he's going to be fast. So very fun to watch. Very fun to watch Daniel run second. Like you said, Daniel got up there pretty quick, showed him the nose, gave him a few taps here and there. And that's one of those things where it's you're running 1-2 and just don't wreck. So try to, on a tight track like that, bring him home 1-2. And very excited to see Daniel's had an awesome start to the beginning this year. Obviously last weekend, picking up all those wins, bringing home all the trophies. And then this weekend, running good in all the classes and then finishing second only to his car. So very awesome weekend for Daniel, Aiden, the whole family once again. So
absolutely, the guys from McQuarrie Motorsports and Bill. I know Bill's. I couldn't imagine what Bill was thinking at home, and Bill Eckers that owns the car that Daniel was running that night. He was there.
yeah,
I talked to Daniel and just hats off. He said to the guys, Skyler and Gabe Craig, all them guys that were just there thrashing and helping him get everything up and going. That's a lot of cars to keep going, and sometimes that's something that we forget about is the guys behind the scenes that are getting the cars ready and getting them, moving them, and getting them to run. And so definitely a fun night of midget racing. I agree with you. This is only one of many for Aiden Purdue. I think that I'm really excited to see him at Macon, especially when the midgets come to Wayne City. I think that's going to be another good spot for him. I really hope that maybe they work something out. Maybe they get to SIR this year again. That's always a good time when you see the midgets come there.
oh yeah, for sure. That's it's a blast. Hell of a bull ring to watch those things run at. And touching base on Daniel again too. I don't know if you saw, but I think he's bringing the bibs back, the overalls, pushing the car off in the overalls. That was a nice Snapchat to see this week of him bringing the overalls back this week. So hopefully we get to see those more this year. Maybe even the pink flamingo showing up again sometime.
Oh, I think you were. I think that once it gets hot, he's just going to take them bibs and take a pair of scissors straight to making the little shorts. I know my daughter wears
Oh, man.
those. So wouldn't think of anything less. Speaking of the feature winner, Aiden Purdue, be sure to hop over to 357's World of Dirt and check out the on-car footage of Daniel and Aiden battling it out. But after this, but first, let's go to an interview right now with Aiden Purdue. Well, we have it like we promised. Interview with Aiden Purdue. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that.
Oh yeah, look at it. Isn't that
Yeah.
beautiful? It is too beautiful.
We got
Yes.
that, and then we've got you kissing the wall over there. Aiden
Indeed.
Purdue, ladies and gentlemen, your feature winner of the Midwest Winter Nationals Week 2 National Midgets, and his first feature win. Very special win for Aiden Purdue because there's a lot. There's just so much that goes into it, and you know what? We're going to stop it right there and let Aiden tell it. Aiden, tell us about it.
Oh man. Yeah, I guess we can start off at the very beginning of the night. We set I always like to set goals when we race, and that is to always improve. Obviously the midget is very, very different than a micro, so it takes a lot more and a lot of learning, and it's the goal is just to have fun. That's what Daniel's there for. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that if you race around Daniel, you're gonna be laughing. Everybody's gonna have a great time, and
Oh yeah.
that's the whole point. You got to have fun and you got to set goals, and that's what we did. We went into this night knowing that a year ago we had started this midget program, and we just wanted to. My goal personally was just to make the show. That's always where I start. That's usually where my baseline is to have just make the show. Nothing big, nothing crazy, and we started off the night. We drew good. Had to start in second, on a heavy track. So, I went in there knowing that, I probably had to at least get in the front at some point to have good points to set us up for the rest of the night. And, we took off and we're lucky enough to win that, starting us on the pole as not very many people were passing since, it's very one lane, midgets are big and they're hard to maneuver around a small, tight track like this. So, we were fortunate enough that put us on the pole for that feature. And then everything really just started getting relaxed. Like that was when I realized that I had already achieved the goal I set for myself. And, we just, at this point, we were to have fun. I wasn't going to be disappointed either way. I was happy I made the show. This was my second show I've made in a midget. So, that's amazing for me. This is just a dream come true in general. And, we went through that feature. I knew there were a lot of great guys behind me. Jake Newman, I've watched him in a midget forever, Sam Johnson, all these guys. And, it's just like, wow, like the same atmosphere as these guys. Like all I want to do is learn because I obviously know these guys have a lot more experience than me and a lot more knowledge in these cars. And, we went through this and it was a big 30-lap race. So, you got plenty of time. Anything's going to happen. Anything can happen. And, we did that. And, mid race, I was just like, holy crap. Like, this is so surreal. Like I'm leading these guys. I'm leading these amazing drivers of people I've looked up to my whole life. And, then, I obviously knew Daniel was back mid pack somewhere. So I knew he was going to be fast. I knew he was going to be coming. And, sure enough, we got a little past halfway and he was knocking back there. I could hear him and I saw him and, he poked his nose in there a couple of good times. And I thought for sure, I don't know when that was closer to the end, but I knew he about spun us both out and we both were almost in a bad situation. But that's the fun in it. I knew Daniel was pushing me because that's just what he does. That's how you got to do it. I want to be pushed. I want to be at that level where I know that I want to be forced to make mistakes so that I learn. That's the only way you're going to learn is if you're put under pressure to make mistakes. And, I knew he was there and that's when I really, really stepped up my game and really got to learn the car during that. And, we pulled off the win, that's just it. Like at that point, I was in shock. I was shaking. I could not even climb out of that car. I about fell over. Everyone there was just like looking at me. I was just like, that's it. Like I've always wanted to be in a midget and let alone win my first ever race with Daniel finishing right behind me. That was just it. We had not just a race, but we had a tight race for the lead. And, that's what makes it exciting. That's what makes it fun. That's not only fun for the fans to watch, but fun for the drivers to interact with each other and race hard. And, it was just too much fun. I cannot express enough how fun and thankful I am that Daniel and the McCree Motorsports team were able to provide us with this amazing race car for that. And that was marking stuff off my bucket list. And I mean, yeah, that's just hopefully one of many feature wins that we're going to get with the McCree Motorsports team and Daniel Robinson owned midget.
I think that's the key right there is one of many, because Tyler and I have been talking and he'll tell you the tracks that he thinks that you're going to be really good at. But going back to that night, I seen your friend Connor Wade down there videoing you through practices and through your heats, and it was the same. I tell you what, you hit your mark so good the whole night. And you can see in the picture here, when I look at, you kissed that wall every lap at the same spot and just set the car up so well. And you just ran such a good race. And I talked about it on one of our other shows that it was no surprise, because your Chili Bowl run, let's go back to your Chili Bowl run real quick. You were on a roll. And you got a little bit high and you flipped your car, but you were coming. I mean, you wasn't falling back. You were hanging with them. You were hitting your marks. You were running a good line. And I think that's what we can see, not only with you in the midget, but in the micros. You know how to put yourself in a place to win. And what better place to pick up your first win as the place that you got your first start in one. And I know that I talked to Michael afterwards, and oh my goodness, he was so pumped. I asked him, I said, have you talked to your dad, Bill both Bill Eckers and Bill McQuarrie, just blown away by the race, and so very proud of you for what you did and what you and Daniel did at that race. I mean, you held off there were some good cars in that feature. So very big run for you. We're all very happy for you. I want to throw it over to Tyler just real quick. Tyler, we talk about his wins. You call it right now. Where do you see him doing the best at?
I want to foresee, obviously, if they come back to SIR, he's going to be very fast there. But Macon, like I said before, I've been there a few times in the micro with him at Macon, and Macon seems like it's going to be his style of track. Definitely Wayne City, of course. But I want to go back on that Saturday night A main real quick. I just want to know, under that caution, did you feel that bump from a Sir Daniel Robinson? I think he was giving you a little nudge underneath caution, just letting you know, hey, buddy, I'm here now, and it's me just knocking on the door. And if that made you nervous at all. So
I noticed he did hit me, and right after he hit me, he comes across, and I was just kind of I always let my arms relax. I was just kind of tense down and just let everything relax. And I turn over and I see him wave at me. I could fully see his face, and he's just like, yeah, like looking over, just smiling and waving. I was like, that's it. Like, that's the most fun thing ever. Like, if you can't do that in a race car with your own like team member, like your own car owner, and that's too fun. Like, that puts the mood in for you. Like that really, as a driver, put me in the mood to like, okay, this is awesome. Like, this is fun,
Yeah. I feel like your shoulders, I feel like the tense kind of just relaxed a little bit at that point. Whenever you saw him, you're just like, okay, just run your line. And that made everything better. Cause like you said before, you had Jake Newman behind you. You had Joby Miller back there. Even Donnie Gentry and all those other names back there, just breathing down your neck. So when you saw Daniel come up there and just give you a little wave, you're probably like, all right, buddy, let's do this.
That was it. That was my turning point. I was like, this is it. This is where we're going to get 1 and 2. And that was like, we even joked about it before the race even started. We're like, yeah, what if we got first and second, podium finish, that, and then it happens. It's like, that's so cool. Like, that's it's too cool.
Well,
For
it's good to
sure.
have not only a car owner, but a teammate out on the track. But there's more to it with you. You have such a good family presence that comes to the racetrack with you. The people that are there to support you, your mom and dad, and all your family. Tell us a little bit about of the people that come and that just give you all the support that you need.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I'm very fortunate to have the best parents and family in the world. You know, I've got obviously my mom and my dad who always show up to every race. You know, they would never miss it. You know, that's how it's always been. They've always been there, and they've always been ready to watch me and help me grow in what I love most. And for me, that's racing. You know, they've always been there, and you know, that's what emotionally keeps me going. You know, I know he's probably not going to, he wouldn't normally admit this, but I watched my dad, and he was the happiest I've ever seen him. I've watched that man, and he's not one to ever get emotional. And he was very emotional after that. And you know, that's part of it. That shows me that like, I want to do better. That drives me more to succeed in this sport. And, you know, obviously my mom was so happy, like everyone was just right there. And that's what keeps me going. That's what drives me to come back. You know, the times that we don't do so good, the times that we screw up, you know, everything, that's what keeps me coming back. And, you know, my grandma and my grandparents, they all watched, and everybody's cheering, you know, everybody. It's just crazy. Like also, you know, Brad, you know, he's obviously not family, but I consider him family. You know,
Absolutely.
he's done everything for me, and once, you know, everything to do with what I do. And that's, without Brad, I wouldn't be where I am today. You know, he keeps me going and learns with me. You know, we learn together as a team. That's what makes us good. You know, he came into my life, and, you know, I was 13 at the time, so I didn't know any better. So, you know, we had our moments, and everybody has their moments, but that's just it. That's the fun part of it, you know, and they just keep giving me and keep influencing me to do better. And that's really what it is that keeps everything so happy. You know, we all obviously get mad at some point, you know, tempers flare, but we all keep it under control. You know, we all want the same thing. We all want to be in victory lane at the end of the night. So we keep that in mind. And, you know, Daniel and everybody, the guys that work on that car, Skylar, Chungus, you know, we got all of them. They're just family. Everybody's family down there.
Now, is Chungus, is that Gabe?
That would be Gabe, the
Oh
expert
my goodness.
fry cook over there.
Oh my goodness. I bragged on him just that what a good help in the pits he was.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Such a good, and comes from such a good family as well. And you have, you know, like you said, Brad, I was going to comment that's anytime I see you, I see Brad. So that's basically family. You know what, this so good to see you, and actually to even be there and be a part of it. I had a front row seat right in the infield, got to watch all of that. But hey, nevertheless, we appreciate you coming on the show. One thing that we do when our guests come on, we've got 5 questions that we ask you. So get ready to fire back at these.
All right, let's do it.
Your favorite driver.
My favorite driver of all time definitely has to be Christopher Bell.
Christopher
Damn.
Bell.
I've watched that guy from nothing. And ever since I got into micro, I raced against him. I had talked to him. He actually signed one of my carbon fiber dashes in Tulsa as we were going out for the non-wing. It was non-wing outlaw qualifier, and I was second and ran second to him. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, he's always been one I've watched and raced with, and really just an overall great guy.
All right, Chris Bell, your favorite driver, favorite track.
Got to do Southern Illinois. That place is my all-time favorite place. It's where I grew up. It's where I learned everything. Always love that place.
Well, here's something. What's your favorite thing to eat at the track?
Favorite thing to eat at a racetrack?
Yes.
Oh my. I don't usually eat at a racetrack, but I will give it to, I love walking tacos. Those things are absolutely amazing.
Damn.
Yes.
Another taco.
Those. Yes. Yep. Love it.
Nice. I'm a big taco fan too.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you came to the trailer at the Chili Bowl with one of those big Chili
Oh,
Bowl
yeah.
fags.
Yep.
Oh, I thought,
Had
man, that looked-
jalapenos on it.
Yes.
Had everything.
I
Sour
went-
cream.
I went and had one of them, and whew,
I feel like no one's ever had a Hopstop cheeseburger. Then have you never
I
been to
have.
Tri-State
I have.
Speedway?
Yep.
I have had one. I
Man,
have had one.
good.
That is
They're
good.
good.
They are good.
That's breathtaking. But yeah, tacos sound good too, I guess. So, but go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah.
Favorite number?
Has to be my favorite number. I've always liked 14. I don't know why. I guess it's because that's what we started with in quarter midgets. I always thought that Tony Stewart was cool, and I always wanted to be him in quarter midgets. So that's always a number I remember. If not that, I definitely love 37. That's an oddball. I remember where 37 came from. It was when me and Dad were shoveling snow one time, way before we were even in micros. He asked me what number I wanted, just out of the random. I said 37, and here we are.
Huh.
37. I like
I'll be damned.
14 though too, because I tell you, Tony Stewart is probably one of my favorite, but off the track, my favorite, hands down, number 14, Clint Boyer.
Yep. He's a great guy. I've always watched him.
Hilarious. Last one, favorite color.
My favorite color, I've got to go with, I'm a big red guy. I love my reds.
Big
I love
red.
it. It just looks good. It looks good with black. It looks good with gray. It looks good with anything.
If you don't chew Big Red, then
Then
no, never
yeah,
mind.
PGU.
Yeah.
Beep.
Bleep that out.
Well, apparently he woke up in the morning and he was pissing excellent Saturday morning. Aiden Purdue, your feature winner at DuQuoin Midwest Winter Nationals, week number 2. Aiden, right quick, before we get out of here, I got 2 more questions for you. First one, tell us about who makes it happen for you, your sponsors, everybody behind you.
Oh, yeah. So let's definitely start off with my mom, my dad, first and foremost. Brad McDaniel for always standing there helping me and getting on the wrenches. Daniel Robinson, the whole McCreary Motorsports team, especially Bill and everybody back there who makes this midget turn corners and pass cars. Got to thank Bandit Shocks for doing everything for our Shocks program, and Douglas Dodge here in Clinton, Illinois for everything they do. Chemstream Race Fuels for all the help and support that they've given us. Cody Morgan with 357 Studios and 357's World of Dirt for all the amazing pictures that they do. Everybody you see around, it's so breathtaking to be in the position that I'm in and to be around these great people. And, Daniel Robinson has just been a huge impact on my life. And, everybody who supports me, my grandma, my grandparents, it's too fun.
Well, and everybody you said there, I mean, just especially your family, what greater thing it is to do than to enjoy something that you want to do and have your family involved with you 100%. One thing I know that everybody watching this is going to want to know, you were at DuQuoin this weekend. Will you be at DuQuoin this upcoming weekend for $2,500 to win, outlaw non-wing?
I don't think I will be, but I will be there to watch. I will be there to watch.
Yes.
I do not want to tear up my equipment. I will be there to watch though.
So I have a chance.
There you go, Tyler.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now just
Oh,
watch
atta
the show up in
boy.
micro.
I also want to know: are you going to be practicing those cage stands in the in the next couple weeks?
Yes, and Tim Clausen even had a interesting comment on that one as well. And I've got to say, my adrenaline was so high at that point, I almost fell
I
over
know.
backwards. I was shaking so
bet,
much. I couldn't even stand. Like I literally
I
almost
bet
fell
your
over.
knees were buckling a little bit. Also,
Yep.
I saw in the picture that your dad he took that picture from Victory Lane he made his profile picture, I believe.
Yep.
Was that right front shock? Was it broke?
So the oddest, I've seen so many comments about it, but actually taking the checkered flag, going into one, the bolt backed out of it and it did come off. at
Wow.
the very last moment. And I about hit the wall doing it because I thought it was me, but no, it backed out, and luckily enough, it held us through a long 30 laps. So
That's awesome.
Wow. What an awesome time for you, Aiden, and the shot coming out, everything. And I was very excited to be down there at Victory Lane to watch you jump out and just being in there in the atmosphere of seeing everybody there. Aiden Purdue might not race next weekend, but will be there. Aiden, thank you so much for joining the show. We look forward to talking more with you and about you. And we're hoping some of your luck and your t-shirt will get Tyler off of that island so that we can go racing this weekend. But
Call the Coast Guard, please.
in any event, we are excited to see. Please post up there where you're going to race next. Next time you're going to be in the midget, we definitely want to see that. I want to make it to as many socials as I can. So again, thank you so much for coming on the show.
absolutely. Thank you guys and everybody here that makes this possible. And thank you for inviting me here. It was a blast, and hopefully we can get Tyler back off the island so he can come back and race this weekend.
There you have it, guys.
SOS.
Well, there you have it, guys. Always a fun interview. Getting to interview Aiden Purdue with such a good run this weekend. Again, I'd like to invite you guys to check us out. That's on Facebook at 357 WOD, at 357 Studios, and at Talking Circles Pod. We will see you guys next week for the Midwest Winter Nationals Round 3 recap. I am Garrett Thomas. This is Tyler Rust. Hope you get off that island, Tyler.
I hope to.